right, Melody. No feedback loops now, I promise.
Thank goodness. I'm glad we were able to figure it out.
It was all totally me.
Yes, it was.
If I can do this time.
And I always know that, like, I have to not run the audio on... Because I watch the stream, because I'm in the chat room, so the stream is up in front of me. So I got to make sure I turn the audio down. So that's on me tonight. So thank you for joining us. I'm glad we could... we can always move the Week in Weird around. It doesn't have to be exactly at that time.
All right.
So, although most of the time we have somebody booked, so we can't always do it. But so you got some weird stories for us tonight?
I do. So we begin this week with an article published by our very own Tim Weisberg on WBSM.com. A woman found in California claiming to be a mermaid. On Tuesday morning around 3 a.m., the woman was found wet and almost completely naked. Fingerprints taken reveal no true identity for the woman, but she is described as being 16 to 30 years old, 5'4", around 150 pounds, of white or Hispanic descent, and having 2 webbed toes on each of her feet, going with her story that she is a mermaid.
The only question that I have about this, Melody, I haven't met a lot of mermaids in my life, but I'm just assuming that they don't have mustaches.
Right.
Well, I don't mean to be mean.
Not necessarily.
I don't mean to be mean, but like
maybe it's cold underwater and they need extra
possible.
body hair.
Right. Wouldn't they have extra body hair?
I mean, catfish have mustaches, right? So it's
they certainly do.
Possible. But
they have glorious mustaches.
I want to thank our friend Mike Banty, who runs the Weird Fresno website. He actually contributed some thoughts to that story, and actually said that he says Fresno is a weird place, hence having an entire website called Weird Fresno. But he said he once covered a case of 2 fishermen who say they saw something strange crawl out of the water near where the woman was found. So
I actually had that in the rest of my little synopsis of the article because I
cut you off.
It's totally okay. But yeah, no, apparently it is not, odd for them to get stories about strange creatures, ghosts, UFO sightings. Like, they have everything.
Well, if anybody wants to find out more about that story, and if you want to find out more about Mike's website, weirdfresno.com, you can just go to the Spooky Southcoast website, and right at the bottom where we have the WBSM Spooky Southcoast blog, you'll see the links to the stories. It'll be right there, so you can check it out. And give me lots of page views. I want it to be the number one. I want it to be the number 1 story of the week, because we do a little internal top 11 every week of what were the top stories, and I want that to be number 1 because we missed out on the Puckwudgies last week.
Really?
The Puckwudgie story was not number 1.
That's kind of disappointing.
Well, you do stories about serious news and about restaurants closing, things like that. Those tend to supersede the weird stories. But come on, weirdos. Everybody go and click on that story.
Weirdos unite.
We want to show
Embrace the weird.
The weird stuff is what works. All right, what else do you have for us?
All right, so switching gears, we now bring you the joyous news that Rob Lowe has spent the night in some of America's most haunted locations for an upcoming TV series set to air on A&E titled The Lowe Files. The show focused on America's creepiest locations, folklore, and myths. Cheryl Nelson actually wrote on the post when we posted it earlier in the week that she thinks it could be fun. So, I mean, I think she has a point. It could be very interesting.
That would be Mama Cheryl.
Yeah.
So we always take Mama Cheryl's advice on things because she makes the best. She makes the best cookies.
I haven't tried the cookies yet.
You had the cookies.
No, I didn't.
I brought them in. I shared them with everybody.
Yeah, but I didn't have any.
Well, that's your fault. Never wait around me when there's cookies.
Right.
So and then what I also found interesting about that is, Rob Lowe's a guy who, he's a pretty good actor, but I don't know if he would be. I think we would kind of know if he was overacting in terms of a paranormal show. I think it would kind of stick out a little bit. But what I would love is for him to actually do the investigations as the character he played on that show. What was it, The Closer? I think that was the show that he just had, The Closer. And that was the show with the girl. What was the show with The Closer was the one with Kevin Bacon's wife, right?
I don't know. You ask me about movies all the time, and
that's right. You don't watch.
I don't.
You only watch Total Divas.
No, I don't. I watch plenty more than that.
You like the Bellas too?
I do.
Yay.
But yet she doesn't watch wrestling.
I haven't in a long time.
I don't either.
The Grinder. That was it, the Grinder.
The Grinder.
That's right, because he's always grinding. So he was like this ridiculous over-the-top actor who had a courtroom show that got canceled. And then he moved in with his brother, who's a real lawyer. And he was always trying to help solve the cases with the little bit of the law that he picked up on from being on TV. But he was so over the top with stuff, with reactions. I was like, that is what would work as a paranormal investigator. I want the Grinder hunts ghosts.
All right.
Okay.
So make that happen, Melody. All right, what else? What else do you have for us?
All right, to close this out, I found this article that I found really interesting. Midnightinthedesert.com reports a study finds 55% of nurses report paranormal experiences. Mm-hmm. It's often overlooked that nurses have the unique opportunity to observe the moments just before and after death. I mean, it's natural then for them to catch a glimpse behind the veil, separating the worlds of the living and the dead, if such a veil exists. To confirm the presence of such a veil, a recent study found the majority of nurses from 8 Argentinian hospitals reported having, witnessed strange, unexplained, or paranormal phenomenons while on the job. The report will be published in the upcoming issue of Journal of Scientific Experiments. So, I mean, I can definitely see why nurses would have experiences, especially with what they're dealing with on a daily basis.
We have in the chat room right now on SpookySouthcoast.com, we have Jimmy, who is actually a nurse, and I know that he commented under that story and mentioned the fact that he's had plenty of experiences of this sort, and that's part of what's fueling him as a paranormal investigator. So, I mean, I can tell you that when looking for locations for ghost shows, for places for people to investigate, hospitals are always high on the list. Because not just the negative energy that you think would be associated with somebody dying, but also
the residual.
But there's also a lot of positive energy too, from babies being born and people coming into this world and people's lives being changed for the better by things that go on at a hospital. So there's definitely a conflux of energies that are happening with them.
Exactly. And it's a place of transferring energy. You know what I mean? Going from one dimension to the next, I guess you could say. So it's a pretty powerful place.
And most hospitals also have the ghosts of turkey dinners that no patient would ever eat.
Exactly, because hospital food is horrible.
I hate when people that I know have to go to the hospital. I hate when they have to spend time in there. That's for a good reason, like having a baby or getting something fixed or something. But I'm more than happy when they go to eat their hospital food.
I
like it.
That's disgusting.
I like drinking juice out of a cup with a foil top on it.
No.
I like. We actually have a listener who, and a friend of the show who actually works at a hospital as a nurse nearby in Fall River. I should be like, hey, hook me up with some of those turkey dinners.
What is wrong with you?
I love pudding. What can I say? All right, Melody. Well, thank you for joining us.
You are very welcome.
We'll talk to
I'm
you
glad
next
we were
week.
able to jump. Bye, guys.
All right, take care. That is our paranormal news correspondent, Melody Knapp, and you can check out all the stories that she posts and Chris posts and Matt posts on our social media, on our Facebook page, and also on our Twitter feed. Comment there. We'll work your comments into the stories, and a good time is had by all. Hey guys, thanks for watching. Let us know what you thought about what you just saw. There's little like and dislike buttons underneath that you can click, but really what we want to know is your thoughts and opinions on the guests and the topics that we cover here on the show. So be sure to leave a comment underneath, and we'd love to find out who you are and where you're listening and watching from.